Dear student, I am Dr. Harold Thomas, Professor in Applied Geology, Dr. Hari Singh Gaur Vishwavidyalaya Sagar. Today, I will deliver my lecture on metamorphic differentiation. I will cover this topic under the following heads: introduction, type of differentiation, and summary. Hope it will be useful for you. Try to be regular in course. The term metamorphic differentiation was introduced by Stilwell in 1918 to cover collectively the various processes by which contrasted mineral assemblages develop from an initially uniform parent rocks in solid state. During metamorphism, metamorphic differentiation is generally regarded as a result of differential migration of ions or atoms of metamorphic system through short distance during the influence of local gradient in the chemical potential. These gradients in the rocks are created by 5 main factors. First, difference in temperature. Second, difference in pressure or non-hydrostatic stress as between the rocks and the open fissures. Third, difference in the chemical composition of the mineral. Fourth, difference in the size of the minerals. And fifth, difference in the surrounding milieu. During metamorphic differentiation, every chemical species in a rock will try to reach a place where the activity is low. This fundamental law has been especially emphasized by Ramberg as follows: dispersion of minerals at places where the activities are great, migration of the dispersed atoms towards the place where the activity is less, and consolidation there constitutes the fundamental process in metasomatism and metamorphic differentiation. The mechanism of the migration of the different chemical species, ions, atom or molecules is highly debatable. They are, however, generally considered to disperse or diffuse in the intergranular films through crystal lattice mosaic features. It should be borne in mind that metamorphic differentiation does not include differentiation by flowing liquids or bodily movement of solid particles, whereby may be dispersed phase through which ions or atoms diffuse. Ascola in 1932 drew attention to the petrogenetic importance of metamorphic differentiation and discussed in details the chemical principle involved under 4 headings. First, the concretion principle. Second, secretion principle. Third, enrichment in most stable constituents. Fourth, solution principle. Concretion principle. The principle explains the growth of large porphyroblast and crystalline aggregates of certain minerals, garnet, feldspar, cordierite, etc., developed in a variety of metamorphic rocks from the occurrences of small crystalloblastic of magniferous garnet spessartine with 25 weight percent MnO in a low grade schist of Otago, New Zealand, which contain an amount of MnO equivalent to that present in a sphere of schist of about 1.4 millimeter radius. Turner in 1948 computed that the diffusion of Mn occurred through a distance of 1 to 2 millimeter. Concretion may have different composition. For example, quartz concretion in low grade peltic schist, calcareous concretion in marls and low grade impure sediments. Certain concretion also contain quartz plus feldspar, and as such the concretion pegmatites as a small bodies with biotite slaves are found in niches. Secretion principle. The growth mechanism in this process is opposite to the growth of concretion that proceed from the center of the spheroids outwards. Cavities, open cracks or fissure in the rocks are formed by shear and tear. This result into mechanical pressure gradients, which in turn creates corresponding gradients in the chemical activities of the rock constituents. The mobile constituents will migrate towards the low pressure zone, for example, cracks, fissures, and then reconsolidates in new minerals. This process may account for some pegmatites which have zonal structure, as in southern Norway, described by Anderson in 1932. Here, the pegmatites are, so to say, ductless bodies. Reed in 1934 and Chapman in 1952 regarded quartz vein in metamorphic rocks as product of secretion. In figure, the origin of quartz vein in quartz kyanite sterlite mica schist is explained. The immediate contact of the veins with the country rock is a concentration of kyanite and sterlite, and in quartz, this suggests that quartz has migrated from the least zone adjoining the cracks new occupied by quartz vein. Chemical analysis of rocks from veins, contact zones, and the country rocks show an enrichment of Al2O3 and enrichment of SiO2. The least zone with concentration of kyanite and sterlite is almost devoid of quartz, since SiO2 migrated towards the crack. During progressive metamorphism, or if two chemically incompatible rocks are brought together in contact, various minerals will become stable. A good example can be cited from veinite or veined gneiss pegmatites, where quartz feldspar have separated out from original metamorphic schist. As a result, the residue becomes rich in FeMg minerals like cordierite, biotite, garnet, and iron oxide with or without sillimanite. The development of biotite at the contact of muscovite schist and amphibolite is also an example of the enrichment in most stable constituents. In skarn rocks, the effect of local or zonal enrichment in most stable constituent is frequently seen. For geochemical migration and metasomatic exchange in rocks, the principle of enrichment in the most stable constituent is of great importance. This process often operates in combination with solution principle. Enrichment of garnet around a folded inclusion of limestone in granite is an example shown in figure is taken from Birth in 1962. The garnet still represent an enormous concentration of iron. Solution principle. According to this principle, the most soluble, that is most unstable minerals or mineral association are dissolved and move away to enrichment in which they are stable. Large rock masses are changed chemically by removal of certain soluble constituents. For example, all basic igneous rocks and also amphibolites of similar composition commonly lose calcium oxide if they are recrystallized in a low temperature phases. In oceanic basalt, plagioclase alter to albite and epidotes, forming spilites. Similarly, amphibolites, hornblende plagioclase rocks changes into a low temperature green schist. In the same manner, the expulsion of CO2 during metamorphism of impure dolomitic limestone may be regarded as a removal of the most soluble components. This CO2 at the other places may become less mobile under different physicochemical conditions and crystallized as calcite porphyroblast and calcite quartz veins in certain low-grade schist. Today, in this lecture, we have discussed about the metamorphic differentiation. I have covered this topic under the following heads: introduction, concretion principle, secretion principle, principle of enrichment in the most stable constituents, solution principle, and summary. I believe this lecture was useful for you. Try to be regular in course. For further studies, please read the textbooks, references, and links given in the text. Thank you very much.